Hello, Pisces, and welcome to your January 2025 reading. So, um, also, Happy New Year. May the year to come. I forgot to say Happy New Year to Aquarius and Capricorn. So, I just realized that we are the 1st of January. So, Happy New Year, and may the year to come bring you all the love and light and abundance that you desire and need. So, I meditated on your energy and what Spirit wanted to talk to you about. The first card that came out is the Nine of Pentacles. Well, that's an interesting card because it talks about our independence, she made herself, everything she accumulated. And when I say she, that means it's the inner part, the feminine part, whether you're a man or a woman. They put a woman there because this is something understood. It's not, she's not actively or strategically making this garden. It is done, it is acquired. And it is something that is part of her self identity, of her inner self also. So that card has, a range, of course. Independence, beautiful. But at one point, independence can become self-sufficiency. And depending on what's around, at one point we want independence because we cannot trust anybody to support us or to be there for us, or we think that we'll owe anything and we don't want to owe anything. So there's that island gently making itself. So here you start with this very independent thing. But under, I have the Ten of Cups. So the card that is all about sharing high vibration is in reverse. So maybe the waters are not supporting the independence in interaction with others. At the end of the month, we have the new moon in Capricorn last month. So that could, enhance the, yes, I made it myself. I am filled with potential. I grow my own crop kind of thing. But when it comes to finding the joy, the sharing of high emotions, it could be more difficult. Okay, so this, if it speaks to you, this is an aspect of independence, but aloneness. Here we have the alone part. The next card that came is the Queen of Cups, Empress in reverse with the Three of Cups upright. Now this month we have the full moon in Cancer, which is your fellow water sign. And it's going to come and shed the light on our divine feminine, on our fourth house in astrology, because it rules the fourth house. It's going to come, moon and Cancer, the moon rules Cancer. So it's going to come and really show us the core of our emotional security. And emotional security, it's often represented with the King of Cups. But the King of Cups is like this because he's in this unconditional Venusian love, self-love to begin with. Then that's why he cannot be moved by whatever situation around him. I don't like you, too bad for you, I like me. That's why he doesn't move. I know what I love. Even if you don't love it, I love it the same. That's why he's got that solidity. And that can only be brought by Venus. If you can exalt that unconditional love within yourself. And there's the Empress that represents that. Love, abundance, potential, all of this. So she's in reverse. And the Queen of Cups is in reverse. So there's the big baggage of low vibrational waters. Can be trauma, can be abandonment from the Divine Mother, can be all sorts of things, but that makes us overwhelmed emotionally, and sometimes to survive this we need to shut it off. But we're the Three of Cups here. That means there's a switch happening. Something is happening because you're going from this and then choosing to be receptive. Maybe there's going to be people coming around or whatever, but the Three of Cups is that capacity to be receptive of higher frequencies. Under that, I have the King of Swords and the Four of Swords in reverse. There's a decision here. There's a frank, direct, in the here and now. The King of Swords is always in the here and now. He's not looking in the past or the future. He's not strategizing on one side, trying to process information, or looking into his unconscious or subconscious or whatever. He is looking in front. So there's a decision here. There's a mental aspect. And here with the Four of Swords in reverse, we might be able to get out of maybe a state of isolation, because this is a state of isolation, because we're repassing what has hurt us. The Three of Swords here, trying to figure out then if I am not the sum of my disappointments, heartaches, and all of that, who am I? And at one point we're able to get out of our state of Four of Swords and be out there. So something is making you get out of the healing cocoon, but the very isolating healing cocoon from the lack of self-love, maybe abandonment, things that the anchoring root chakra, sacral chakra kind of thing were distorted, okay? And then we have the Hermit with the Four of Pentacles. Now, this does not mean, okay, you're going to be alone and driving your thing alone. Going from an isolation because we're wounded and we're afraid that people will hurt us, and going to the Hermit, which is Virgo, which is it's more like I know who I am walking the path, I am keeping my energy. Here, Pisces, this is really like, okay, I won't spread myself thin, or whatever was how you had to deal with this before. But the Four of Pentacles at the beginning is I'm keeping my energy. I'm keeping my, learning to say no will start with the Four of Pentacles. I'm not going to pour myself outside of me. Bottom of the deck, I have the Queen of Wands in reverse. And it can start with just, following your inner intuition, discernment, your inner light, to find really what you desire, what you want, so that you can start attracting this, so that you can start looking at the sun all the time and not attracting your shadow, okay? So let's clarify this for you, Pisces. I call upon the divine. I call upon the light. I call upon the Holy Spirit. Help me clarify this reading for Pisces for the month of January 2025. I open on the Queen of Wands in reverse again. Maybe, at the end of the month, you're going to be on the path of reaching a state where you're going to be more aligned with what you desire. The Queen of Wands, she's the law of attraction. And to make sure that she's attracting positive things for her, that's why there's the sunflower. She needs to keep towards her aspiration, towards who she is. But what is my aspiration? The Hermit is going to drive you there also. He's going to drive you to the heart chakra. That's what he does. So that would be your wise masculine saying, okay, I'm getting out of the mausoleum. I made the decision, and now I'm going to walk my path, and I'm going to keep my energy. All right, 9 of Pentacles. So, yeah, 7 of Wands. It's a 9 of Pentacles where we have to push back confronting energies. And here I have the Pope in reverse with it. Confronting energies, it could be also having to deal with, you know, things, people, institutions that maybe lack morale. Maybe we don't have our sovereignty on our spiritual, because the Pope is the counterpart of the High Priestess that understands everything that happens behind the scene. And the Pope is there to bring, the Pope or the Hierophant is here to bring the rituals or the ways to ground and make solid what is understood from the invisible. So when he's in reverse, we don't know how to do it. It's like everything around us is stronger than us. And here we have to put energy to make sure that we're not going down the hill. And so probably in reaction, you became more and more independent. Yeah. So we have the 10 of Cups in reverse and the 9 of Cups in reverse. Here, the receptivity of your waters is just from bottom stuff. The Hierophant in reverse, it's crooked institutions, crooked people, the lack of discernment of Jupiter. Here it's with the Hangman. Also our own engagement into our lives and our growth and all of that. The Hangman in reverse, 12th house, Pisces. And here it's saying, okay, you're going to look at that from a completely different angle. You feel things deeply. There's a lot of pain here. So either we keep it or we release it. Fill it with something new. Something is going to make you want to fill it with something new. Show me here Empress, Queen of Cups in reverse with the 3 of Cups upright. Could be that full moon in Cancer that's going to arrive around the 13th of the month. So that would shed the light on something. Why do I keep the pain from the unconscious stupid things that people did? Why do I carry the pain of it? You're going to look at that from a different angle and you're going to let it die. You're going to let it transform, be purified. That's what happens. And it's from, the 12th house, we call it the house of sacrifice, but it's more like once we're conscious of what we need to release, not to bring it into our first house of I am for the next cycle. So the 12th house is really where we're surrendering. I would call it more the house of surrendering than the house of sacrifice. It's a sacrifice maybe for the ego that wants to be right and that only knows that and is afraid of doing it. Maybe it feels like a sacrifice, but it's a question of surrendering. King of Sword, Four of Swords in reverse. Ah, Four of Swords in reverse. Okay. Here I have the Page of Pentacle. Maybe it's gonna come at the same time with an opportunity. An opportunity can be something concrete, yes, but it can be also, hey, here's that extra self-worth. I feel it within me. This is something I have in my hand, and I can grow it and improve the quality of my life's experience. But I cannot do it if I'm drowning in all that water. Hermit. Maybe I don't know where it's heading, but at least I'm going to start walking the path. Six of Pentacle. Okay, I have the hiccups. I'm going to start walking the path because I'm going to gain my faith again. Why? Because I'm going to throw away all that water. If we hang on to the pain, we are not aligned with receiving more. The ego is going to stop us. It's going to say, I don't want more. I'm already drowning. Don't send me more. But here the star is like, no, I'm not keeping anything. I'm keeping the wisdom of what I've went through. I'm not having a lobotomy as I'm pouring down the water. I'm keeping the wisdom of it, but not the emotional charge, because I want to be infinitely provided with new water that are going to be able to receive frequencies that I will not transform like my pain and attract it unconsciously, but that I will be more straightforward. I will start investing that pentacle. It's going to start growing. So I'll use my wisdom of the hermit, my faith and alignment. I'll start growing it in a balanced way, and I will not sabotage myself. That's the Seven of Swords. That's when, if you're looking at this guy, well, this one is more artistic, but at least they kept the 3 swords under his arm. And it's under his left arm. That's the feminine receptive. 3 swords. 3 swords. It's the 3 of swords under his arm. And it's like making strategies. That's a 7 of swords. Making strategies based on our past disappointments and heartaches, making them as truth. They can be beliefs and things like that. That's why he feels he doesn't have what it takes, or it's impossible, it's useless. He will procrastinate because there's this thing that he doesn't feel he's able to face. That's why he steals it in the night. How do we rob ourselves from a enjoyable, instead of fighting off stuff, enjoyable growth when we're aligned here? So let's look at the 4 of Pentacle. So you're going to keep your energy. There might be a bit fear left over, but you will not wait anymore. Okay, maybe a bit of restraint. But here, the idea of waiting, analyzing, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? I think you're going to start to gather. It can be your finances. It can be just your energy, okay? Your physical time, the vitamins, the whatever, okay? And here I still have this. So this is a bit how you're getting into the month. You're attracting shit. You have to defend yourself against it. You can't trust people, and you probably feel emotional heaviness within yourself. So if this is you, this is for you. And the switch that's going to happen this month, I would keep my eyes open around the 13th. At the end of the month, we will have the new moon in Aquarius. So here you have the star. So there's that kind of beautiful time to put your alignment, remembering who you are in this world. So something to consider. What am I investing? What am I growing? What do I want to grow? And that's going to be probably the title of your video. What do I want to grow? And you don't want to water that crop with that overwhelming sadness. And happiness or sadness, they're just different frequencies. At one point, we realize we can either be moved by the winds and the people's actions and things like that, or we can core ourselves. And I think that's what the full moon in Cancer is going to help us to bring this before the nodes of the moon move and get in Pisces, Virgo. And there you don't want to become overcritic and because of the things in your 12th house that you haven't released. I think this is a kind of a last cleanup to know what I will grow, I will attract what I vibrate. That's it. What will you grow? So on this, my beautiful Pisces, I am sending you all my love and light. So just to be aware of this during this month is going to help you switch it around. Also, yes, for the ones who are interested, I finished my book on the tarot and the tree of life. It's a very nice book. Took a long time to do because of the postal service strike. It's not available on my website, but next week it should be on Amazon to compensate. All right? So, but keep your eyes open, and at one point when this postal office strike is over, I'll be able to put it on my website. On this, namaste. I'm sending you all my love and light. Thank you for sharing, commenting, and please subscribe. And if you want a private reading, it's on the website in the plus section under there. And there you go. So on this, I'll see you next month. Happy New Year.